Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it is Paydirt review time again. And this time we're going to be doing 2 bags of Paydirt off of eBay, the No Bull GoldPaydirt seller, also known as Rich GoldPaydirt. And we're going to be doing his 5-ounce No Bull bag, as well as his 2-pound Nugget bag. Now I have to say, my BS meter is just tingling like crazy, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But first, let's go to the overhead and show you the seller's description on these bags. As you saw, an extremely long description on both bags of Paydirt, but unfortunately it's almost all seller hype and not a lot of information about the Paydirt itself. All it says about the Paydirt is the weight of the bag, that it is supposed to be unsearched, it is from the Gold Belt in Virginia, and that it is dredge concentrates mixed with raw dirt. But not much more than that, and most of the hype in the description threw up BS red flags for me all over the place, and I'm just going to pick apart a couple of the things in his description that were really troubling for me. Now, on his 2-pound nugget bag, he actually doesn't say anything about nuggets other than in the title that there are nuggets, which is a red flag to me. And then in his description, he says, "This is the best investment in Paydirt you will make." Then at the very bottom of the description, he says, "Please keep in mind that no one in the history of buying Paydirt has ever struck it rich, nor will they ever." So that kind of gets rid of the whole "this is the best investment ever." But the biggest red flag for me when I got this 2-pound bag in was the fact that it said, "I get my rich Paydirt from Golden Empire." And we all know who Golden Empire is. That's GoldPaydirt. Now, recently I have noticed he has been changing his descriptions to not say Golden Empire. In fact, when the 5-ounce bag was purchased, he changed his description to this: "I get my ultra rich GoldPaydirt from GE." It's still Golden Empire. He has just changed the name from Golden Empire to GE. And in fact, now if you go through his descriptions, he has removed that. So now he doesn't even tell you he is rebuying his Paydirt from, he is reselling Golden Empire Paydirt. Another thing he says in the 5-ounce description is, if you are looking to get rich off of Paydirt, you should look for something else to invest your money in. And again, that disclaims his 2-pound bag where he said it was the best investment in Paydirt ever. Now, I did email this seller just to make sure he was saying that he was buying it from GoldPaydirt. And in fact, he replied in his email to me that yes, he buys all of his Paydirt from Golden Empire and just is reselling it. He says he adds more gold into it. In fact, he told me, he challenged me to buy a bag of Golden Empire and see what kind of ROI I would get compared to his bag. And while I'm not going to do that, I am going to do something similar. I do have a similar priced bag, and that is 2-pound bag from Golden Empire coming in, and I will be doing that on my live show Thursday. So we'll find out Thursday how good this bag is, or I should say how much better this bag is than Golden Empire. In fact, he challenged me to buy a 1-pound bag of GoldPaydirt and compare it to his bag. But that wouldn't be fair because what I paid for this is not the same price as a 1-pound bag from GoldPaydirt. But what I did do is buy a bag of GoldPaydirt the exact same price that I paid for this one. And I will be panning that out in my Thursday night Gold Panning Fever show. And I guess then we will find out how much better this bag is from GoldPaydirt. But this review is simply about this seller. And I will say there's a couple more red flags about this seller that I must mention. One of them being that I don't think this is unsearched material. It is really hard to say you are selling unsearched material when there is a middleman in between. This material is from Golden Empire, who states that they buy their Paydirt from other miners, and then they're sending it to him. He's rebagging it. There's just too many people in that line to say that this bag of Paydirt is unsearched. But let's just weigh this Paydirt up and see if it is the stated amount in the description. 5.2 ounces and 2.1 ounces. So they both are the weight they are going to be. This one I am not going to classify. It's too little bit of a material. But this one we are going to classify. Let's open it up first. Take a look at it. Doesn't look like any bigger material in here. Maybe a little bit in the plus 10, not too much. It does say there could be some gems and silver. So let's see about the black sands. It does actually seem to be pretty heavy in the black sands, which is surprising, because GoldPaydirt is not known for having a lot of black sands. I mean, that's a pretty decent amount in there. Let's classify this down and listen to some music. Okay, all done classifying, and as you can see, it definitely steps up from the plus 10 to the minus 40, with the vast majority of the material being in the minus 40. And for a nugget bag, that's pretty surprising. And just out of curiosity, I am going to open the 5-ounce bag just to check for magnetite, see if there's any black sands in there. So it's pretty heavy in black sands, or at least in magnetite, which is really surprising considering the description states, "My no bull clean Paydirt with less useless rocks and black sand in it is what you want," than what you get here every time. So again, not really sure. BS meter is flying all over the place. I don't even know how it could be unsearched, but yet you would remove the black sands. And obviously this one still has black sands in it. I don't know. Let's just go set up some water and see what kind of gold we get out of these bags. So have my water all set up, have my pan, have my 5 ounces of Paydirt, as well as the 2 pounds of Paydirt. And we're just going to start with the 5 ounce and then go through the 2 pound bag. So let's listen to some more music while I pan this all out. Well, all panned out as you saw, and I have to say this Paydirt was much more difficult than I thought it would be, but we will get to that in a minute. First, let's just show off the gold I recovered. In the 5-ounce bag, I'm only showing you all the gold since I panned it all out. I did not classify it down. And there you go. Maybe 25, 30 pieces in there. And I will say there is gold from the -40 all the way up to the -10. There was a big piece of copper in there as well as some peridot. And we'll weigh that up in a little bit. We're not going to count the copper or gems towards the ROI. Now for the 2-pound nugget bag, no gold. Not even one little piece in the +10. Some more gems, but no gold. Which I have to say is really disappointing considering that it was a nugget bag. But it is an eBay nugget bag, so. Now in the -10 +20, I did find some gold. About 15, 16 pieces in there. Now, I would never consider these nuggets. I know a lot of eBay sellers consider those nuggets, but they are not nuggets by any real miner's terms. These are not nuggets. In the -20 +40, even more gold. A really nice pile of gold in there, probably 50, 60 pieces. So pretty happy with that. And then in the -40, even more gold. A nice little pile, probably 20 little pieces in the -40. And that stuff is really close to the -40. It's not -50 or below. It's really close to the -40. Now let's just weigh this up, starting with the 5-ounce bag. Let's see how much gold we got. 0.110. Now we'll do the 2-pound bag, had nothing in the +10. So -10 +20, 0.175. -20 +40, 0.260. And then in the -40, I don't know if this will budge the scale or not. I don't think so. Nope. So let's just weigh it all up and see what we get. Almost spilled it. .450. So let's just talk about Paydirt difficulty. Now for difficulty, what's really surprising is the 5-ounce bag was supposed to be a no bull bag, which says less rocks, less black sands. And in comparison, the 5-ounce probably had the same amount of black sands as the 2-pound bag if it would have been scaled up. So if you bought a whole bunch of the 5-ounce bags until you had 2 pounds, you'd have the same amount of black sands. So it really wasn't as easy as it kind of makes it seem like. In fact, all the black sands is what made this Paydirt difficult. It is extremely clean material, no cloudiness whatsoever, no organics really. It's just the black sands. For a beginner, this would be hard Paydirt. For an advanced panner, it'd be medium. And for an expert panner, it'd be medium, but it just barely hit medium right over easy since it does have a lot of fine gold as well as black sands. So that's it for the Paydirt difficulty, and I'm going to be right back with my ROI and my review. All right. Finished calculating my ROI, writing up my review, and let's get right to it. We're going to start with the 5-ounce bag. I'm not going to do a full review on it. I'm only going to tell you the price and my ROI. So this again was from Rich GoldPaydirt. It was his 5-ounce bag. Its cost was $15.99. Shipping was free. So total cost right here for the top ones is $15.99. Gold recovered right here, 0.110 grams of gold. Now, gold spot on the day that that bag was received was $61.23, which makes this gold's value worth $6.74, making my ROI 42.15%. So not that high of an ROI, but it is an under $20 bag, and typically with under $20 bags, you're not going to score very high on the ROI. So I'm not going to complain about that too much, and I'm not really reviewing that bag. I'm mostly going to be reviewing the 2-pound bag. So let's get right to that one. Now, this was the 2-pound Nugget Paydirt. It had no guaranteed amount of gold in it, but it does state you will find gold. Its cost was $37, which, by the way, was on sale from $49.99. And I just looked, and it still has a lower price than the $49.99. I believe right now it's about $37.89 because he's changed the price of the Paydirt and added shipping, because on this bag, shipping was free. So total cost I paid for the 2-pound bag was $37. And again, on sale from $49.99. But it might be one of those kind of perma sales, because I haven't seen his prices go up, and he has relisted it a few times. Now, the gold I recovered right here, 0.445 grams. I know originally I said it was 0.45, but as you saw in the video, the scale eventually settled and it was at 0.445. Now, gold spot on the day that this bag was received was $63.11, making this gold's value worth $28.08, making my ROI 75.89%, or on my scale, a 7.6. So that's pretty good. And it's also really surprising. I really did not think that I would hit that high of an ROI. I was thinking maybe in the 50, maybe high being 60%, but 75% ROI is really good. Now, for fun factor, I'm actually going to drop it down to a 7. I originally was going to bump it up to an 8 because it was fun Paydirt to go through. It was extremely clean. It had gold in most classifications, and most of the classifications that you would want from the -40 up, except for that it didn't have anything in the +10. And when you label something as a nugget bag, it just bugs me because there was no nuggets in there other than this copper nugget that was in the 5-ounce bag. Nothing in there is a nugget, so I'm dropping it down to a 7 because because eBay nuggets don't count as nuggets. Now, for Paydirt description, I'm giving him a 4. It probably should be a 6, but there's so much stuff in his description that flip-flops back and forth that it just makes it really hard for me to give him a higher score. I don't like the fact that he calls it a nugget bag. I don't like seeing the 5-ounce bag saying it's a no-bull bag when it's the exact same material as in the 2-pound bag. There's just lots of inconsistencies in the description, so I'm only giving him a 4. Now, for quantity and packaging, he's getting a 9. 10 for quantity because it was over the 2 pounds, and the 5-ounce bag weighed over the 5 ounces. And the packaging is really good. He uses really thick Mylar bags, not cheap Ziploc bags, so he's getting an 8 for that. So total for quantity and packaging is a 9. For customer service and shipping, he's getting a 10. The shipping on his products was really quickly. 2 different people ordered these products for me, and both of them received them extremely quickly. And the customer service was extremely pleasant as well as fast, even with me arguing with him about the golden Paydirt. So for customer service and shipping, he's getting a 10. So total score on the 2-pound bag is a 7.5. And again, I'm not really reviewing the 5-ounce bag other than to tell you that the ROI on it was 42.15. And the numbers would all be the same, so you could calculate what the score would be there if you're really that into it. And I also want to say, even though I will come down sometimes on sellers and complain about things, I still do use a criteria. So while I am not a fan of the fact that he is using golden Paydirt as his material, because to me that is cost. He is buying dirt that is taking away from his profit and for my recoverability or your recoverability in gold. If he spends $1 per pound, that's $1 that either he's not making or that gold is not going into a buyer's bag. So I am not a fan of any of those things. Yet, as I said, I use a criteria. So he did get a 7.5 criteria just based solely off of his dirt and not my own opinions. And I would actually say I would probably buy this Paydirt again. I would probably ask him to stop buying from GoldPaydirt, and if he just dug some dirt out of his local stream somewhere in his neighborhood, even in his backyard, he'd be better off making himself a little bit more money or getting a little bit more for his customers. So now all that's left is to flash up the score and give away a 24 karat gold-plated dime. So let's just flash up the score right here. Now, before I give away today's 24 karat gold-plated dime, I do need to give some shout-outs to some of my newest Patreon members. So thank y'all very much for joining my Patreon page, and that's Jeremy Kinnunen, William Pulley, and Jacob Spalding. So thank y'all very much for joining my Patreon and supporting the channel. And if anyone else wants to help support this channel, they can go to patreon.com/Miller Prospecting. Every penny goes towards this channel, helping it and making me buy more, allowing me to buy more Paydirt, do more reviews. So thank you all very much. Now for today's 24 karat gold-plated dime winner, that's going to go to Gary Steinley. So Gary Steinley, make sure you email me so I can send this off to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching, happy panning, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Oh, and I will leave a link in the... And also, since he did challenge me to base his ROI off of a similar bag of Paydirt from GoldPaydirt, this Thursday on my live show, I will be going through a 5-pound bag of GoldPaydirt that I paid $37 for. So in the comments below, I will pin a comment Friday, the day after I go through that bag, and tell you what the ROI is I got from GoldPaydirt. Now, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be close to the 75%, but we'll see. Just out of curiosity. So make sure you check out the comments below.